Hello and welcome back to the Confidently You podcast. I'm your host Helen, and if you listened to last week's episode, which you should have done before this one, you'll know that I've been on quite a journey. But first of all, thank you all so much for all the messages and kind words that I've had since episode 1. I've honestly been blown away. So many of you have shared your own stories, your own struggles, and the moments you related to, and it just reminds me you're not alone in this, and that's why I'm here. So, today, I want to get into the pattern that kept me stuck for years and the exact non-negotiables that finally broke me free. So let's start with a little honesty. So hands up, not if you're driving though, if you've ever said, I'll start again on Monday. Or maybe, well, I've ruined it now, might as well finish the whole packet. Yep, I thought so. So my hand is right up there with you because this literally used to be me. And here's the thing. I used to think that it was just normal, that it's just what you did if you couldn't stick to things. But the truth is, it's an exhausting and never-ending cycle. And today I'm going to show you exactly how I broke it with non-negotiables. And I promise you, they're not what you think. This is going to be simple, easy to use tips that you can apply to your life starting now. There's no rules, no restrictions. I don't do overcomplicated and I don't do dictatorship rules. Is that the right thing to say? But basically, the way I coach, and I always say this when I speak to new clients, potential clients on a one-to-one call, I always say to my new clients, I say, you do not want to work with me if you want a drill sergeant. If you want someone shouting at you, telling you what to do, preaching at you, having a go at you, making you feel shame, I am not that person. I did once have a client, and I know her well, she won't mind me naming her, but I won't name her names. She will listen to this. So, and she said, Helen, I just need you to shout at me. And I was like, no, you need to go to someone else because I do not believe in negative reinforcement. Now, I'm also not, airy-fairy, it'll just be fine. No, that doesn't get you results either. You need structure and you need things in place that help you. But if you have a bad day, quotation marks if you're listening, bad day, and you go off track, quotation marks if you're listening, and you then think, oh, I've ruined it all, and then you think, oh, I best not tell Helen because she'll shout at me. How's that ever going to get you where you want to be? Whereas all my girls know that if they've had a rubbish day, they can be like, Helen, I had a rubbish day. My cat was unwell, and I'm just thinking of weird examples. My cat was unwell, and then I had a deadline at work, and my boss was a bitch. So, swear. My boss was a B word. And then I just ate a full pack of biscuits and a bottle of wine. And if I go, right, you're useless. What's wrong with you? Suck it up, Sharon, sort it out, gosh, you can't stick to anything. Does that help you? Or does that make you feel shame and guilt, and then if it happens in future, which it will, you will then not tell me, and you'll still do it, and you'll just probably stop working with me, you'll just ghost me, you just like disappear into the ether, and I'm like, oh, where's this client gone? No, doesn't work. Here's what I do. I go, that's okay, Sharon, tell me what happened. Right, what led to that circumstance? What happened in your life that led to you eating a full pack of biscuits and drinking a bottle of wine? What could we do differently next time to prevent that from happening? And it's not a one size fits all. It's not going to work every time. But real coaching is helping you to overcome these limiting beliefs and patterns in a way that suits you with support, care, and sometimes a bit of, that is rubbish. And if you're doing it every single day, I will say to you, is this actually getting you to where you want to be? Do you like doing this? Do you want to change? Because you have to have some of that yourself. And that's positive reinforcement. Anyway, tangent there. So let's go now and talk a bit about my perfectionist past. Now, I did touch a bit on this last week, but I'm going to go a bit more in depth for this specific episode, which is all about overcoming the all or nothing mindset. So let's rewind. So where did all this perfectionism thinking come from? For me, it started early. It started from when I was a child. We're not going to therapy today, don't worry. But at school, I was constantly trying to fit in, and the way I coped was trying to be perfect. So if I could just do everything right, maybe I'd feel enough. And then in my 20s, perfectionism had a full on grip on me. So let me paint you a picture. I'd restrict in the week and then counting calories, like really clean eating. I wasn't even counting calories then, to be honest. I was clean eating, restricting, and then come Friday, oh, it's treat day. I can eat whatever I wanted. I'd be binge drinking. I talked about, my pizza binges and my sweet binges on a Sunday and whatever I wanted, because I'd been denying myself all week to be then bad at the weekend. And then I punished myself in the gym. And then it was like every week I was thinking about starting again on Monday, going back to the gym, being to that restriction, and it was a roller coaster, always up and down, depending on where I was in that cycle. My weight was up and down as well. I couldn't really get a hold of things, couldn't feel confident. And the real damage wasn't even physical, it was mental. I was exhausted, I was worn down by constantly swinging between extremes, and the worst part, I thought it was just who I was. I thought, this is me. This is me. Have you ever felt like that? Hand up. Have you ever felt like you're in this constant battle and loop of restriction, binging? I went off track on weekend. Best be really strict on the Monday and reduce my eating and eat 800 calories. I see this a lot. You are not alone. This is so common. Girls, saying move more, eat less just doesn't work, because underlying in all of your history and life and your values and your beliefs is this is the way you are. We've got to change the narrative. We've got to break the pattern to make a change. And now luckily you've got me. So let's begin. So this must just be me. That's what I used to think. I'm the kind of person who can't stick to things. I used to just think, oh, this is who I am. We are so set in our beliefs that sometimes changing the narrative is the hardest thing. Oh, it's who I am. Oh yeah, that's just me. Yeah, I'm just mad Helen. I'm crazy Helen who goes out and gets absolutely wasted on a weekend. You say white girl wasted, but I don't think you should say that anymore. And yeah, it's just who I am. Yeah. No. You do not have to be the person you are. You can be the person you want to be. And it's not about completely overhauling your life. I feel like a completely different person now to who I was in my late 20s, early 30s. But I'm deep down, it took me a while to learn this. Deep down, I'm still me. I just look after myself better. Body, mind, and soul. So I'm the kind of person who goes all in or all out. That's what I used to think. That was my identity, and it made me miserable. I thought I needed more willpower, stricter rules, better discipline, and what I actually needed was the complete opposite. So the turning point was realising I wasn't broken. The problem wasn't me, it was the approach. I was either 100% on or 100% off. And I mean 100% off. If you could do more than 100%, I'd be 1,000% off. I was 100% on and 1,000,000% off. And that's what was killing me. So the Monday restart mentality. Let's talk about the classic Monday restart. And I know probably a lot of you are listening to this that you are still stuck in that cycle. So tell me if this sounds familiar. Friday night hits and you think, I'll start fresh on Monday, so I might as well go wild now. One drink becomes 3 or 23 if you were me. A takeaway follows, and you're already writing Monday off as the magical fix. Saturday Sunday, overeating, overdrinking, convincing yourself that the reset is coming. Then Sunday night rolls round and you're anxious. So anxious. Oh my gosh. Can we just talk about Sunday anxiety? Because, I have to take a breath. Talking about it actually gives me the fear, but it's so important to recognise these thoughts and feelings. That's so weird it literally, as I talked about it, I got that feeling, that anxious feeling. I will do a deep dive into anxiety, mental health, and dealing with anxiety and how I've overcome anxiety on another episode. But that Sunday evening fit, I promise you girls, hand up, and I'm not being show off, I do not get that anymore. I do not, oh God, think about it. Whew. I do not get that pit of the stomach, Monday, oh gosh. It was especially after when I used to drink loads, because we know drinking leads to anxiety. You can see how, if you're watching this, you can actually see how much this is affecting me. Just talking about it, the body keeps the score. Note that book down because it's a really good book. If you are ever going through any healing or trauma or anything, it's a really informative book about how your body holds on to feelings and memories. So as you talk about them, they can come back up. Basically what therapy is, in a nutshell. If you need therapy, go to therapy. Don't just read a book. Disclaimer. But that Sunday evening fear where you've just been slobbing around all Monday, you've not really got out of bed, you're feeling disgusting, you've eaten loads of food, you're hungover, you're anxious about going to work tomorrow, you're tired because you didn't sleep properly at the weekend, or whatever it is for you, and then you just eat loads of biscuits and stuff to try and make you feel better. And then you can't sleep properly because you're anxious. It is just the worst. I promise you I don't get that anymore. And it's because I've put things into place. One, I don't drink because that used to give me loads of anxiety. And that's just a personal decision. If you can drink and then it doesn't affect your life and you can enjoy yourself, good for you. Go for it. But for me, anxious. Yeah, and obviously loving life, every minute of life. That Monday I enjoy my Mondays. I'm one of those weirdos that enjoys Monday. It's a great day for me for work, for my business. I'm doing my check-ins with my girls. I get to do some coaching with the girls, give advice, change lives, help people. Got my routine and I go out but I'll talk about these in another podcast because it is more in depth. That is more about routines and coaching around anxiety. But yeah, that anxiety was just Sunday night awful. So I planned my week's meals. I knew what I was eating anyway because I ate the same thing every day. They'd be like, oh yeah, I've got to go to the gym first thing on Monday morning. Got to get the perfect food shop. And then you'd not be able to sleep because you were full of anxiety. Monday morning, you wake up, you feel absolutely knackered from the weekend, from either the food or the drink. And usually I'd skip the gym on a Monday because even though I had all the intention of going, I'd either, most of the time I would skip because I'd be too tired from the weekend, and because of all the sugar and food and everything like that, I'd feel like a slug. So I'd skip Monday morning gym and then go to work and just feel like, oh gosh, the anxiety. The anxiety, girls, the worst. So then you could be this person, Tuesday comes around, but then Monday you do well with your food, Tuesday comes around, and then you have a really good day Tuesday. Tuesday's always like the good day. Gym, food, everything. But then by Wednesday, the biscuits in the office is calling you, and you eat one biscuit and it turns into the whole packet, or you skip a workout because you're tired, and then straight away the all or nothing voice will kick in. I've ruined it now. Might as well wait until the weekend. Might as well wait until Monday, sorry. And just like that, you're back on the hamster wheel. I lived like that for years. And the shame that comes with it is crushing. Every week you feel like you failed. Every week you promise yourself, next week will be differently. But here's what I didn't understand back then. It wasn't about willpower. I hear this so much where, especially clients are like, I just need better willpower. Or I just need to be tougher. I just need to like suck it up. This whole it's masculine energy. It's like, aggressive, masculine. No, you need to be feminine. You need to lean into this femininity of kindness, peace, empathy, planning, preparation. I bet you are so organised with your job, your career, if you've got kids, whatever you do with family, your home. I bet you're really organised because most people are when it comes to everything else. So why are you not organised about yourself? It's not your willpower. It's nothing about sucking up and trying harder. It's about learning to give yourself a bit of slack, but not like letting yourself up, just being like kind to yourself. Honestly, speak to yourself like you would do your best friend. These thoughts and feelings have such a good impact, and this is all down to mindset coaching. How many times do you tell yourself, I'm useless, I'm this, I'm that? Let's think about masculine and feminine energy, because it's good to lean into both. You need both at certain times. My masculine energy is coming out when I'm dying halfway through an ultra, right? I'm not then going, it's all right, you're all right. No, suck it up. That's when it's needed. But when it's Wednesday and you're absolutely exhausted from work and you've accidentally eaten a biscuit, telling yourself you need to be tougher doesn't always help. That's why you need to move into right, that's all right. let's move on from it. What would your best mate tell you? And I mean your true best mate, not your friend who literally bows down to your every whim. True best friend, and mine does this to me and I'll do it to her, will go, well, actually, wouldn't this be more beneficial? And you go, oh yeah, you're right. Whereas if my partner told me that, I'd tell him to get lost. It's funny when it comes from your best mate, isn't it? You take it a lot better. So the problem was always the approach that I had. The breakthrough question for me was, what if I stopped trying to be perfect and just tried to show up? Think about that for a second. What if I stopped trying to be perfect and just tried to show up? And I mean show up consistently. Okay? And that's when everything shifted for me. From rigid rules to flexible non-negotiables. So here's Helen's non-negotiables. So what are non-negotiables? They're not rules. They're not restrictions. They're commitments to yourself. Rules are rigid. I can't have carbs after 6. I don't eat bread. That'll just be me. I don't eat white bread. Non-negotiables are flexible. I show up every day for myself, even imperfectly. And that shift in language matters. It moves you out of punishment into self-respect. So for me, a huge part of learning this came from sobriety. So sobriety is a non-negotiable for me. I don't drink. There's no wiggle room. But in other areas like food, movement, mindset, my non-negotiables give me structure without suffocating me. So here are the 5 that changed my life. Non-negotiable number 1. My mantra, Fit Girl Club mantra, progress over perfection. So I aim for consistency, not perfection. So for me, that looks like eating protein with most of my meals. Moving my body regularly, even if it's just a walk, girls. Sometimes you're absolutely knackered. You've had a really tough day, week, a month, a year. I had to fit that in somewhere. Now, if you're feeling absolutely knackered, but you're like, I must go to the gym, I have to do that workout, it's just going to make you either hate the gym or feel more knackered and then end up burnt out. Then you're no good to anyone. Where is that getting you? You don't win a medal for getting burnt out. There's no prizes for being burnt out. So going for a walk is better than nothing. Think of, this is better than nothing. A 20-minute workout is, I can't fit an hour in. 20 minutes is better than nothing. The other day I had a really busy day and I wanted to go to the gym and get a workout in because I'd missed one of my strength training sessions last week. And I was just like, I just won't have the time to drive there and do the session and do it well. It'll just stress me out. Home workout. I did a home workout. Yes, I've got weights at home, but there are other options available. Something is better than nothing. Stop thinking we have to do this perfect workout regime. Life is imperfect. The more you realise that, the better it will fit in your plan. So always asking, what's the next best action? That is literally another one of the mantras that I use with Fit Girl Club. If some of my clients message me and they're having a tough week, I'm like, what's the minimum that's going to get the needle forward this week? So here's the difference for me. Old Helen would eat a packet of biscuits and say the day's ruined, literally. A whole packet of biscuits once. Ginger nuts as well. It was like, the spicy? Do not eat a whole packet of ginger nuts. Just because your mouth after is literally like, not worth it. I used to just be like, right, I've day's ruined, I might as well eat everything. I'd feel sick, like it was pointless. But new me says, okay, that happened. Next meal, I'll make sure it's a good quality meal. To be honest with you now, I do not eat a full packet of biscuits. I did have a full pack of lentil chips on Sunday. I'd actually planned that in though. Prawn cocktail ones, amazing. I had a fish finger sandwich and lentil chips. And do you know what I had for my dinner? So that was my lunch. It was really nice. I had, for my dinner, I had chicken and veg, which I'd planned in as well, which I enjoyed as well. Balance. You can't always be like clean and perfect. And they call them almond mums. Have you heard this? Where it's like an almond mum. Literally, no treats, full restriction. I will do another episode as well about how that affects your children. Obviously, I'm not a parent, but I know a lot about mindset psychology, and we need to break the patterns, girls, from what we learned from our parents. I'm not blaming my parents. It was a culture then, slimming clubs, things like that. But we can be the pattern breakers. We do not have to pass that on to our children. We can be the example. I don't have children, but my niece and nephew anyway, we can be the shining example of how to do it right. Okay? But that'll be another episode. So, the freedom that creates from just thinking, oh, I've ruined it. Honestly, it's like breathing again. It's revitalising. Once you learn that one bad meal doesn't mess up your whole life, you just reset. And you don't reset the next day, you reset the next meal. You go out for a walk, you do something that makes you feel good. You don't sit there and dwell on it and feel guilty and then just dig your heels in. And it's self-sabotage. If you're having a full pack of biscuits, then straight after you're like, well, I've messed it up, I might as well eat ice cream. That's either self-sabotage or over-restriction, because then you'll eat all the things that you told yourself you weren't allowed. It's a circle. If you don't break the circle, if you don't break the chain, you'll just keep going round and round that hamster wheel. So, non-negotiable number 2, no food is off limits. I literally had one of my old reps messaging me the other day. I say old reps. I was the manager and she was my rep in Jamaica. Shout out Claire. She won't mind me mentioning her name. Love her to bits. She's actually older than me, so that's why it's weird me saying old reps. Me and Claire had some fun, right? There's some stories that no one should ever hear of what we got up to when we were in Jamaica. But she's struggling a bit at the minute. She's menopausal. She struggled with her weight. And then she's messaging me and asking advice about, is this good? Is this bad? Because unfortunately, and some of you might be the same here, there's so much contradicting information online. There's so much, don't eat this, do eat this is bad, this is good, UPF, blah, blah. Let me tell you this, make it simple. If it's complicated, it's not real. Getting rid of all ultra-processed food in your life is near enough impossible. And if you restrict yourself that food, the more you will want it. If you ban everything, the more you will want it, which will then lead to a binge, which is overeating. And then you feel guilt, and then you start again. As soon as I allowed myself to have anything, I don't eat it as much. It sounds so backwards that I'm allowed to eat it and I don't eat it. My thing used to be sweets. I told you about sweets. I used to get 1 kilogram worth of lollies, sweets, which are jelly sweets in Australia. My parents used to buy me like a box of bags of Haribo, you know, like that you'd buy for wholesale, and that'd be my Christmas present. And I'd sit and I'd open 2 bags and empty them out and eat the whole lot in one go. Just inhale 1,000 calories. Just didn't touch the sides. The past few weeks, I've seen that they were on offer in Tesco and they were actually £1. Amazing, because they always used to be £1. And I've bought 4 bags, right? They are in my cupboard. Must have had them a month, maybe over. I had some left from the Ultra because I didn't eat them. I'm saving those 4 bags of Haribo for when I go running training or when I really, really want them. But they're there and I don't feel restricted. I'm not forcing myself not to eat them. I'm just like, no, I'll save them for when I want them. And I don't want them. Once you allow things more and once you learn more about food and mood and feeling and how food affects you, which will be another podcast. Sorry, I keep giving these like hints, but I can't talk about everything in one day. But once you learn these things, you just become freer. Just so much freer. And there are tools and tricks. Like if you are prone to overeating biscuits, get a pack of biscuits, put them in separate portions, so little bags or in bits of foil, like you would do, I always say if you like chocolate, instead of getting a big bar, get the little bars from Aldi, which are nice anyway, and then allow yourself one a day or one every couple of days. It's allowing yourself that. And the more you have it, honestly, trust me, over time, you'll just be like, I'm allowed, it doesn't become this, forbidden fruit that you really want if you allow yourself a little bit. But then there's also lots of other things that come into nutrition and about fuel in your body and feeling good and food and mood and emotional eating patterns and different things like that, which I'll just park that for a whole other day. That's about 6 podcasts I've just discussed there. So no food off limits. This was a huge one for me. When nothing is forbidden, you stop obsessing about it. Old me had good food and bad food. Good food was anything like fruits, veg, lean meats. Bad food was literally like bread. Honestly, I had some worrying habits. These are things I'd create over time. Anything greasy, fatty, that's bad. Oh, you can't have that. Is that bad? No, nothing's bad. There's no good or bad. Food doesn't have emotion. So if I ate a pizza, I'd feel guilty. If I had chocolate, I'd spiral. New me, I can enjoy pizza on a Friday. I do prefer homemade pizza though, and I put all the toppings on, and I love it without shame. But I'll have a whole homemade pizza. It's so good. I can have chocolate when I fancy it, and I don't need cheat days. You don't need a cheat day because there's nothing to cheat on. Have you ever thought about that? If you're having a cheat day, it's because you feel like you need to have a cheat from your diet. A diet should just be consistent throughout. You'll have times where you go on holiday and you indulge a bit more and you enjoy you go out for a meal and it's a bit, indulge a bit more. I went out for a massive afternoon tea the other week. I've never been to an afternoon tea, I know, 38 and never done an afternoon tea. And it was gifted by my brother and family. They bought me it. And I was like, oh, okay. And it was really fancy. It was so nice. It was at the Grand in New York. It was such a lovely afternoon. We sat there and I ate the whole thing. It was so much sugar though. I felt terrible after it. I wouldn't repeat it a lot, but it was nice as a one-off and it was beautiful. And I can enjoy that and I don't feel guilty. I didn't then go for a run to run it off. I just enjoyed it. But then I also then didn't carry it on. When I got home, I cooked a really nice dinner. I actually cooked a takeaway and it was beautiful. And then Monday straight back on my usual diet, not a forced restrictive diet. So ask yourself, what foods have you labelled bad, right? And what would it feel like just to remove that label? Just remove the label. There's no good or bad. Is that good? Is that bad? Doesn't have an emotion. It's food. You can also say it's more nutrient dense and less nutrient dense if that makes it easier for you. That's what I try to use as words with my clients. And I just said that sentence really backwards, but still, you know what I mean. So, non-negotiable number 3. I don't wait for Monday. This one is a game changer. So every moment is a fresh start. Ate more than planned at lunch. Next meal is an opportunity. Missed a workout. Tomorrow's another day. Honestly, girls, diets don't start on Monday. Stop waiting for Monday. There's a big thing, especially now, and I feel it coming already. Christmas is coming. It's in 2 months. 2 months. If you're not willing to make a change tomorrow, you'll never change. You have to just rip it off. There'll never be a good time. Off you go. There's always a holiday, a social occasion, an event. There's always something. We live. If you don't learn to live and reach your goals within the same parameters, it's messy. You will never reach your goals. Unless you lock yourself in a room, go restrict, change your life, and then as soon as you stop, what happens? You'll go back to the way you were. It's about learning habits that fit in with your life, and however busy you are, it's never going to be perfect. So if you've had a rough week, Saturday morning is a great chance to reset. Weekends can be a fantastic opportunity. I find with my girls as well, you've got more time to cook, so you can make some really good meals, some takeaway, slow cooker. You've got more opportunity to get outside, go for walks, get more steps in, go out with the family, do something active. I think sometimes it's our mindset that we're like, we work hard all week, weekend we need to sit and do nothing, get our feet up and eat takeaways and high calorie, non-nutrient dense food. If you keep telling yourself that, that's what you'll do. If you not notice, like everything I tell you to do is just about flipping your narrative. Weekends are a great time for me and the family to get outside, get some fresh air in, we get on our bikes, we go have fun, we come home, we put the slow cooker on, there's a hearty meal ready, make some hot chocolates but still have things that you enjoy. You can make a cake together as a family and just have a piece of cake. One piece of cake is not going to ruin your progress. It's eating the whole cake that ruins the progress. You can get lower calorie versions of your treats and things like that, but sometimes it's about fitting things in and making things slightly better to make it consistent. So then you're still enjoying your weekend. The new me knows it was the all or nothing thinking all along. Non-negotiable number 4. I celebrate progress, not just perfection. So this was about retraining my brain. Old me only celebrated when the scale was going down. Oh, I hate that. Side note, if you ever work with me, I do not make you weigh yourself. You're like, well, Helen, how do I measure progress? There are a million other ways. How's your energy? How's your sleep? How's your mood? Are your clothes looser? Are you, we do measurements as well, but that's all about clothes sizes. Are you feeling better? Can you walk upstairs without getting out of breath? Do you run around with the kids? Are you not shouting at your husband or biting his head off every time he speaks to you? Are you loving life? Are you happier? Stop measuring progress by a number on a scale. I do not even own a pair of weighing scales. Is it a pair? I do not even own a set of weighing scales. I don't know how much I weigh, but I know I'm healthy and I'm happy. Isn't that enough? Rant over. So, retraining my brain that celebrated the scale going down or the perfect week of workouts. New me celebrates stopping eating when I'm satisfied. Who knew that was a thing? Who knew that you didn't have to overeat? Enjoying a meal out without anxiety, moving my body when I didn't feel like it. This is such a huge win because I think a lot of people see me as this health, fitness, lifestyle coach, whatever you want to call me. I'm a confidently you coach, that's what I do. And I love exercise majority of the time, but I'm a bit, you call it like type 2 person, that when you're doing it, it's like tough. Honestly, that ultra that I did was horrific for the majority of the time. It was the best and worst thing I've ever done in my life. The first half was awful. Second half was quite good, actually. I got the endorphins flowing. But straight after, I was like, oh yeah, I want to do that again, but harder. What's that? That is type 2 fun. So I don't always enjoy a workout when I'm doing it, but majority of the time, I feel so much better after. There is like the 1 in 10 times where you go and you don't feel better after, and it's all right to sack it off sometimes or do something that you do enjoy. What you focus on expands. This. If you take away one thing from this podcast, it's that sentence. What you focus on expands. You focus on negativity, not doing well, gosh, everything that's going on in the world at the minute. Never talk about politics, but you can focus on all the negative. I'm going to say negative again instead of bad. Or you can start focusing on the good. At the minute, it's autumn. The sunrises are absolutely stunning. I'm just looking out my window now and the sun's shining. There's a pigeon there. I've got my health. I've got a roof on my head. I talked about this last week. I've got a loving partner. I've got a fantastic life. But you could constantly, with everything in your life, you could focus on the negative. But start focusing on like the good stuff. I've been for a walk today. I've eaten a good food. I'm feeling better. My energy's feeling good. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. I'm meeting a friend. I'm doing this. Celebrate those small wins. This is gratitude. Gratitude isn't about, I'm so grateful for my X amount of money in the bank and my big car and da-da-da. No. You are grateful for the sun shining. You are grateful for a nice glass of water, a cup of coffee, a chat with a friend, a smile from a stranger. Let's go micro. The more grateful you are for little things, it spreads. And you start celebrating those small wins about what you've done today. I want you to think now, whether you've just got up or it's the end of the day, what win have you had in the last 24 hours? So it could have been last night. Did you cook a good meal? A hug from a partner? Hug from a child? Time with your dog? Honestly, a win at work? Anything? You need to start doing this every day. That is me dictating to you, actually. Do this. So they build massive confidence over time. Non-negotiable, number 5. This is the last one. Thanks for listening. I'm allowed to be human. What? So this is a permission slip. Some days are harder. Some weeks don't go to plan, and that's okay. Bad days don't mean failure. Setbacks are data, not disasters. I'm going to repeat that. Setbacks are data, not disasters. If you've ever worked with me, you'll notice that I say a lot, right, take the emotion, I'm going to take the emotion out of that. And that doesn't mean I'm like not empathising and be like, oh, get over it. I can look at things from a perspective like, right, take the emotion out of that. What is that? What is actually happening? What is the pattern? Why did that happen? And then it can just give you data onto why certain things happen. And you can look at it and go, well, actually, if I did this differently, setbacks are data, not disasters. Old me would rip myself apart with criticism. New me, I treat myself the way I treat a friend, as I said before. And that shift from self-criticism to self-compassion changed everything. So, breaking the pattern, practical steps. How are you actually going to apply this to your real life? And how are you going to actually put this into practice? So let's keep it simple. Step 1, identify your all or nothing thoughts. So start by noticing them. Write them down when they show up. I've ruined it. I'll start Monday. You know, there's power in writing things down, girls. You are more likely to take account of it and acknowledge it. Other things like, if I can't do it perfectly, then what's the point? Awareness is so powerful because once you spot the pattern, you can change it. Step 2, Create your own non-negotiables. Not mine, yours. So, what commitments will you make to yourselves that feel supportive, not suffocating? Maybe something like, I'm going to prioritise vegetables or fruits. Or I move my body in ways that feel good, not punishment. Or I don't punish myself for being human. And things happen. Life happens. Nobody's perfect. Start with 3 to 5 and write them down. Stick them on your fridge. Put them in your phone notes. They're your anchor. Bathroom mirror. Get them on there. Mantras. Repeat to yourself. What you see, you believe. Practice the reframe is step 3. So when an old thought shows up, redirect it. This is a meditation technique that if you've never meditated before, don't worry, you don't have to start. I would recommend it though, it's fantastic. But an old meditation technique is reframing your words and beliefs and how you speak to yourself. So from I've ruined it to one choice doesn't define my day. From I'll start Monday to I can start now. From I'm weak to I'm learning a new pattern. I still have to do this. Oh my God, I still have to do this. You never become perfect. Again, progress over perfection. I like the word like mantras, meditation. They call it a practice for a reason because you've got to practice it for the rest of your life. You don't stop. There isn't just a quick fix. There isn't a magic wand. Our bodies and brains are designed in a way to protect us. And if we naturally lead to negativity, but you can change the pattern. So your thoughts don't magically disappear, but you can get better at coaching them and choosing differently. Step 4 is focus on the next best action. This is actually my favourite. So ask yourself, what's the next best thing I can do? Not next week, not tomorrow, right now. So like I said, I had the bag of share bag lentil chips. They're still lentil chips. I'd have written that off. Honestly, I'd have eaten that four bag of Haribo, would have got eaten. And the rest that's in the cupboard, it would have gone in. But I didn't. I was just like, right, I'm going to have a protein-rich dinner and drink some water and move on with my life. Done. And plenty of veggies. Veggies are good. That's the difference from catastrophizing to problem solving. Okay, so real life transformation. I am going to show this in practice with one of my fantastic clients. She's going to come on and we're going to tell you all about how she lived in a bit of this cycle and how her life has changed so much. She's literally, hopefully next week she'll be on. She'll be on next week, if not the week after. And she's such a perfectionist, as in like, she literally lived and breathed the all or nothing mindset. And one of the biggest successes as a coach is, seeing her transform. It makes me tear up and I can't wait for you to hear it. So, here's your big takeaway. Non-negotiables aren't about being stricter. They are about being kinder to yourself while still moving forward. Progress over perfection. So your action steps for this week are to write down your all or nothing thoughts as they come up. Obviously, if you're not driving, you can't do that, but you need to remember to put them in your phone later. Create 3 to 5 non-negotiables that feel supportive, not restrictive. I want you to share these as well with me. So whether on social media or in the comments, please share these and I love hearing from you. And then you're going to practice what's my next best action instead of just giving up and starting on Monday. And remember, I still catch myself in perfectionist thinking. I have to catch every day. The difference is I now have my non-negotiables to guide me back and it is easier for me. And next week, hopefully next Wednesday, I'll have a guest sharing their amazing transformation. So get that ready for next week. And you won't want to miss her story. It's absolutely life-changing. But until then, remember, progress over perfection always. And I'll see you next Wednesday. And if today's episode resonated with you, please please share it to your friends, share it to your family. This will help someone and tag me in it. And I look forward to speaking to you all soon.